Hey everyone, we are going live. Okay, so Ryan Malone first, second from YD Boy. Cryptoverse, what's up? Elbow Cough Reese, what's up? Nobo Familia, Raven, yeah, we started now. Bernardine and Zara, hello. So I've just dropped a few messages to DeGale and see if any of these guys want to join in, because it's always more fun having more people in here. We have boba tea, pearl milk tea. I'm trying to be healthier. So we have 0% sugar. So it's literally just tastes like tea. Oh no, it's still good. What's up, JOC.com? Ethan, instead of buying so many Donalds, why don't you use the money to buy more money tokens, better ROI? So I actually have a lot of money tokens already. But in terms of VEVE NFTs, I think I've put actually more money in MONI tokens than I have into VEVE NFTs. The reason why is, so in terms of assets, right? So I've got crypto and I've got NFTs. For crypto, I have quite a lot of I've got a lot of crypto. So I've got mostly OMI, a big chunk of money tokens, and some other stuff like ILV and whatnot. For NFTs, pretty much I only really own some VEVE NFTs, and I've only put about maybe $15,000 into VEVE. So that's nothing compared to how much I put into crypto. So I do want to kind of put in a bit more into the NFT side, just to kind of diversify. So yeah, that's why I buy a lot more Donalds, and also because I'm very bullish on Golden Moments and Disney. I think out of all NFTs on VEVE, I think the Disney Golden Moments stuff is gonna always kind of survive, because the artist stuff and the other stuff that could go up and down, that could die off, you know. But the officially licensed Disney stuff, I think that's got significance, especially F.A. Donald Duck. That's a huge character. Tales of Suspense number 57, only 68 commons in the marketplace. That's quite a juicy deal. The thing is, I never look at how many there are in the marketplace anymore, because what happens is when the price goes up, people who are holding that end up listing. They start listing. So then those will sell. And then you end up back with 60 something in the marketplace. The price goes up. People are holding it, then start listing again. And then it's just a cycle. So I never look at how many are actually actively listed in the marketplace. I just tend to track the average price movement of that. Clint, good afternoon. Hope your day. It's actually very sunny in the UK right now, so I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. No delays on the hero cards. So I'm going to be going down. I'm going to be scouring all of London. Oh, actually, what we'll do is we will look and plan some routes. Okay, so let me share my screen. Let's plan some routes together. So in the UK, there are two places you can buy the hero cards, from Game and also from WH Smith. So if we have a look, let's see. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna drag this over. Okay. So let's see Game UK, Game Stores, Game Stores London. Okay, so the first stores that have it are called Game in the UK. So let's see. How do I? Is there a way to get my current location on Google Maps? How do I find my current location? Okay, I need to find myself manually. Come on. I'm in East London. East London. Where is East? I'm guessing it's East. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm not that far east. Ooh. Oh, there's a game here. Okay. Okay, so this is the store in the UK that has hero cards, Game. So let's see. What's the most efficient route I can take to find hero cards from where I live? So I'll start from Stratford, right? Because that's probably the most easiest way. Let's see. Where is Stratford game? Okay, here we go. Yeah. So this one. So today I actually saw they had Colex cards in stock. So if I start from here, where can I go to find more games? Okay, so Surrey Keys, Victoria. What's the best route to take? Okay, so there's one in White City, one in Victoria, one in Surrey Keys. Okay, are there any other games? What if I just type in game? Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay. I'm going to try and hit the biggest ones because most likely they'll have it in the biggest stores. Okay, so that's one. The other one is WH Smith. Now, I know in Stratford, that's where I'm going to go first. They've definitely got a WH Smith there. So I can hit both game and WH Smith in Stratford. Let me just double check what's happening with the comments. Oh, thank you for the donation, Ryan. What's your thoughts on this play to earn game? Yeah, so play to earn game for OMI is going to be most likely Epico Regal, most likely. That's partly because I help work on it. So if you know how Hero works with the leaderboard, Epico Regal has something similar with a leaderboard. If you just think about how Hero rewards people on that leaderboard, just apply the same concept to Epico Regal, but with OMI. That's all I'm going to say. Money token below 0.2. Yeah, they put out an update on the game. I'm going to give it 3 more months and see if the game is released by then, because it's a mini game. It's not even a full game. I think it should really be out within the next couple of months at least. Otherwise, I would definitely start questioning what they're doing. Good luck on your hero hunt. Thank you, Clint. Love the mapping. I did that for my Pokemon card hunts. Yeah, I need to like Google map this stuff. Like I need the best route to hit the most number of stores to maximize my chances. I'll be in White City. Oh, okay. So you go White City first. I'm gonna go Stratford. Yeah, we'll like split up the territories. So you get like the west side of London. I'll take the east. East is where I live anyway, so it'll be easier for me. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we have WH Smith in, let's see, Stratford. Where is Stratford? It's over here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Stratford. Okay. Ooh, there are quite a few WH Smiths. 1, 2, 3. Where's this one? That's a small one, isn't it? Okay. So 1, 2, 3 WH Smiths. Okay, I'm gonna hit all 3 of them, wherever they are. Where are the other ones? Okay, so WH Smith. Okay, so if I keep going, Myland, Whitechapel. Okay, so if I get off at Oldgate, there's 1, 2, 3. 3 more. Okay, so I can take the central line to Liverpool Street, and I could try and hit, or maybe Oldgate might be better. I'll get off at Oldgate, and I'll try and hit these 3 WH Smiths. Oh, wait, that's a head office. That's not even the store. Okay. I'll try and hit that one and that one. Okay. And then as I get to St. Paul's, I can hit quite a few more here. And then, okay, there's a few more here. And then I end up coming towards Shepherd's Bush. So there's one there as well. So there's definitely a game store there as well. Because I went there yesterday. Okay. So this is just from east to west London. What about north and south? North and south is going to be another mission. Okay, it's good I've taken some time off. I'm going to have to like go scouring all over London. I'm not even going outside of London for this. And this is crazy. Forget money, silly team. Yeah, I mean, they clearly overestimated what they could do. I'm going to give them a few months and see what they deliver in terms of the game. If they deliver something, I'll be like, okay, fine. You guys are just slow. Sup, Chromies? What's up, Mox? Plutomium. I think Plutomium hit some pretty good pulls on the digital pack, didn't you? You got was it a very good Riddler or a very good Batman? I can't remember. Was it Riddler A1? I think Plutomium hit the Riddler A1. What's the average cost per money token? Probably like $1, to be honest. I overpaid for money. How often do your stores restock? I don't even know yet because they're not actually out like yet publicly. I'm gonna check next week. They're supposed to be stocking next week. I guarantee Monster was a slow rug pull. They will drop and disappear. Telegram is full mod blocking everyone. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt because they are putting out updates around the game. However, I haven't seen a game yet, so I'm gonna have to wait and see. I mean, I did put in quite a lot of money because, you know, I'm quite bullish on play to earn. And what they were trying to do seemed like it made sense. So I'll see. Don't you think there is something fishy in money? I mean, if they wanted to rug pull, I think they could have rug pulled right when they launched the token when the price was really high. It doesn't make sense to rug pull this late in the game. And also, they're still putting effort into putting out updates. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think they're just really slow and they're struggling with the development. Riddler A, that's it, Riddler A1. That is valuable as hell. Legendary Riddler A1 from the first digital drop. That is a grail. You interested in the Batman? Oh, Batman Cowls. So you know what? I think I'll get one Batman Cowl. Let's see Batman Cowl NFT. When is this dropping? Batman Cowl NFT collection. Drops in 10 days. Oh, wait, hold on. What's this? Oh, okay. I can like move this around and stuff. Look at that. Haha. $300. Okay. Do I have enough ETH? Yes, I do. I've got just over 0.1 ETH. I can actually afford one. So what is the utility for this? What is the utility? What if I go on FAQs? Let's go on the FAQ. What does this do? BC has partnered with Palm Studios to officially step into the world of blockchain technology with our first collection of NFTs. This is what I'm saying. Oh wait, this is published in 29th. Okay, fine. Oh, okay. This is their floppy disk stuff. Where's the information about the cowls? So what do these cowls do? Where's the utility? With a 2-year plus roadmap. Okay, but where is the roadmap? Show me the roadmap. Like, this is cool, but show me the roadmap. Oh, okay. Wait, did I have to keep scrolling down? Okay, fine. Okay, let me see what this does. Access to exclusive products and collectibles. Access to exclusive back cowl at Power Collection. Exclusive access and benefits at DC Fandom. Okay. Advanced access to DC NFT collect. Ooh, that could be good. Future stories from DC Comics. Okay. Exclusive features, new functionality for DC Fandom NFT holders. Okay. New engagement mechanics, private fan forum, third-party wallet integration, metaverse-ready design for future experiences. Okay, so let's see. 2 billion plus combinations, historic cows, light effects, dominoes, materials. Okay, you know what? I'll mint one cow just for like the lows. I'll do one. Oh wait, you can purchase it via debit credit. Okay, so, did I not accept crypto? I would rather do it in crypto. If it's by cash, I probably won't do it because I've got some ETH that I can use, but I don't want to use cash. Does anyone hear that noise as well, like a raspy breathing sound? Oh, those are my birds. Yeah, they're like up there, kind of making some sounds, like a. Do you see them launch the main Monster Infinite game in Q4? I would say next year sounds more realistic. The mini game for this year sounds reasonable for me. I'm picking up the cow for sure. Okay, I'll look into the cow. I think the cow. If I can pay with ETH, I'll get it. If not, then I won't get it. Or actually, I've ordered a crypto.com card. So if I can pay using a crypto.com card, and if I get it in time, then yeah, I'll get the cow. So bullish after Randy and Taps' interview. If you keep scrolling, oh, okay, yeah, I saw it. Yeah. I had to keep scrolling down. Yeah, it's a weird UI. Like I'm not used to that. New utility every 52 days. That is pretty specific. Money can still reach $10, but I don't think it's going to reach $10 by the end of the year. Like I thought they would develop faster. I think it could still go back to like maybe $3 to $4 if they release the game and they get some good traction. I think that's the possibility. But it's the same with OMI. I think OMI could easily hit 2 cents, but now I think it's gonna be they'd be lucky to hit 1 cent this year because everything's just been way too delayed. I think 1 cent is my target for the year now. 1 cent OMI this year. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Okay, so I think Legacy is going to be joining us on the live stream in a bit. Okay, so I think there's some like I'm just talking and hearing some interesting stuff from the Gale. Let's see if the Gale wants to pop in. Yeah, I'll share the link to the stream with them. I agree. Oh, we got Super Moon Boy Dan, Paper Hand Dan, the celebrity himself. Okay, so Dan, you actually agree with my prediction? 1 cent this year. That's the optimistic prediction. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys why I think 1 cent OMI this year, as in my optimistic prediction. I'll tell you in a second. I'm just sending this thing to the Gale. Okay. Oh, Dan Lee, do you wanna jump on the stream? I'll drop you the link in Telegram if you wanna pop in. We can discuss my new OMI prediction of 1 cent. Let me drop this in here. Yeah, so my prediction for why OMI is only going to do 1 cent this year is this links back to why OMI is so heavily accumulated by whales, right? Just recently, the whales have tripled what they put into OMI again, and they keep accumulating. Like OMI keeps moving upwards into the hands of these whales. So a lot of these whales, they've been in the game for a long time, like even 4 years they've been in OMI. And a lot of them have been frustrated that things have been moving so slowly. And 1 cent is kind of like a key take profit level. I'm thinking a lot of these whales, they're going to be pulling out of OMI at 1 cent. And when we see that happening, OMI is going to basically not move beyond 1 cent. They're just going to keep taking profit at 1 cent. We won't be able to go beyond that because that's a key take profit level. So if you've been following Twitter, you would see a lot of people who have been in OMI for a long, long time expressing frustration at the team because they're just not going out and putting OMI on, the exchanges that they want them to be on. OUP is being delayed and whatnot. So that's the issue. Oh, yes, we have the man himself, Daniel Lee.
How's it going?
Yo, what's up, Steph? Feel free to join the stream, Steph, if you want as well. I've dropped you the link. But we have Daniel Lee himself. Let me turn up my volume, actually. I don't know if I can hear Dan.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can definitely hear you a bit louder. Okay, yeah, perfect. Volume is good. I was with Wannabe Champ today. And
I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, he was pretty drunk. It was so funny, right? Like, he was like, hey, let's go to the casino. And I was like, okay. And then I went, right? And then our friend John, basically, we were celebrating him getting his new job. Like, he's going to be moving to San Francisco. And I haven't like played roulette or any of this stuff in a long time. And I forgot how the machines work, right? So basically, you have like the machines and they got like a camera at the roulette table. So whatever's streaming on the roulette table is being live streamed on the screen. And so you can actually play roulette from a screen. You don't have to actually be there at the table. And so I had no idea what I was doing. I just pressed a random button and I pressed 9. Like out of every number, I pressed 9 and I put £1 on it. And coincidentally, the ball landed on 9. And I was like, wait, that's the number I just picked. And then I saw and I was like, you have won. And I won 36 times what I put in, which was £1. So I was like, you know what? I've learned my lesson in the past. I pressed that cash out button. I got a ticket that said £36. And I was like, yo, I put in £1. I got 36. I'm going straight to the cash out desk. But meanwhile, Wannabe Champ is there. He's like, I've put in £60 and I'm down to £2 now. And then he lost that as well. And then he's like, okay, well, you know what? It was like, whatever. So yeah, he lost £60 whilst I made like 36. But you know, we had we had some fun drinks, some dinner, like, you know, lobster and whatnot. Like, you know, whenever he comes down, he goes all out. So yeah, that was fun. I'm sure you enjoy it as well. Like when you come down to London, there's a lot of stuff for you to like experience here. But yeah, like he was very, very, he had a few too many whiskeys. I can tell you that.
He looks like a fun guy from what I saw on Twitter. You guys sound like you guys get along real good and have a good time. So I'm definitely excited about coming over there in September.
Oh yeah, no, he's funny. He doesn't stop laughing. He was showing us his Korean impression today.
So I was kind of curious about your 1 cent thing. I remember when I was talking to you, I kind of laughed at 2 cents because I thought that was too low. But actually, I think what you're saying about the 1 cent, I think we would unfortunately be lucky to hit that. But I kind of want to hear what you got to say.
Yeah. So the reason why I changed my opinion is there's two key facts, right? The first key fact is, I'm sure you'd agree that OMI is right now, as of today, is very, very heavily concentrated in the hands of whales. And during this bear market, even more OMI has moved into the hands of whales. You know, like they've accumulated a lot more. I mean, very recently, that guy put out a tweet saying he just bought 500 mil more OMI. So we can't deny that. It's in the hands of whales. Now, the second fact is a lot of these whales, they've been in the project for a long time now, like 4 years. And one of those guys, like, you know, he's been expressing a lot of dissatisfaction at the team. Like some of these whales have been saying the team is incredibly incompetent. Like they need to replace Dan and David, etc., etc. They had chances to, you know, actually, you know, do some good partnerships, make OMI more valuable than it currently is. And a lot of these guys are really, really frustrated. And I think they're going to look at taking profit a lot earlier because they know, you know, that what they expected to happen probably won't happen anytime soon. So I think their key take profit level is going to be around about that 1 cent region. And if they do choose to start taking profit at 1 cent, it's going to be a long time before we can get past that 1 cent barrier, because they're just going to keep setting sell walls at 1 cent, similar to what they did at 0.8 cents. We couldn't get past 0.8 because they just kept sell walls. And a lot of these whales, right, is even as they come in now at the current price levels, they're not looking to 100x their money. They're looking to put in like $1 million and 3x that to $3 million and then get out. And a 3x from now is probably, you know, around about that 0.8, 0.9 cent region, maybe 0.1. And so a lot of us who are, you know, holding, thinking it's going to go to 5 cents, 6 cents, we have to kind of get the only real case I see that happening is after these whales have taken the majority of their profit, then they can let the token, you know, eventually rally. So I think our barrier is going to be 1 cent. Too many whales are going to be taking profit earlier than we anticipated. And that's the problem. Or that's not necessarily a problem, but that's the barrier.
I remember you said that, I think it was last year, or maybe it was like earlier, about the 1 cent take profit level. And, you know, I think you have some insight because you actually talk to a lot of whales, you know, and you know that psychology. But my thinking is just looking, not even taking that into consideration. It's, you know, we're at like 0.0025 and we have these things coming up, but it takes a while to even get to, you know, 80, right? And, you know, we're not going to see big things until maybe at the earliest end of Q2, you know, of this year. And so even if something big happens, like, you know, Epico Regal or something, or one of these games come out, they're play to earn, you know, they'll pump it up a little bit, but it's not going to go to like from 2.5 to 7.0 off of one piece of news, right? It's going to take multiple pieces of news. It's going to take multiple exchanges. I don't see that happening till the end of the year. And a big catalyst for me to break through that 1 cent barrier, it has to be something massive. It has to be like a great VEVE verse, which we know it's going to be a slower rollout, or a massive exchange, maybe like a Coinbase could possibly get us there. But most likely it's going to be something bigger with the economy, you know. And there's a lot of bearish things happening possibly this year. And there's just too many wild cards that I don't see crazy bullish sentiment happening this year at all. So I don't think we'll get to
of course.
even
I
1
think,
cent.
It seemed like what Reese said was Q3 is when we could see the first iteration of OUP. And the most bullish thing for OMI, I think, is OUP, because you can finally use the token for something. It's not just a token that you buy and hold. However, honestly, in terms of VEVE timelines, I think Q3 is probably going to be Q4. So yeah, like you said, probably end of the year if we're lucky. So when that happens, if it coincides with like some good exchange listings, I think 1 cent we could touch it, but I don't think we'll hold above it. I think there's going to be too many whales taking profit, because I think a lot of these whales are kind of done with this project now, because they've been in it for a long time. I mean, like for us, you know, maybe we've been in it for a year and a bit. That's okay. If you've been in this project for 4 years now and you've made 100x, you might as well profit out of your 100x rather than waiting for 1,000x. And I'm sure many of them are happy to do so. So they're just waiting for that next opportunity. Because I'm sure a lot of them were probably anticipating OUP and good exchanges earlier, not you know, still waiting today. So yeah, you know, I don't know if you saw Victor. He's been around for a long time. He made that music video where he had his guitar and he's like, MTO, VEVE verse, bend the cunt.
Is he? Do you know him personally?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, cool.
He was like one of the first people on my channel, like, who used to comment on my videos. And then I spoke to him on the VEVE Discord, and then apparently he went like MIA for ages, and then he just randomly appeared again, like with his music video. I learned about him through Brock as well, because you know he's like one of the people who was in OMI for a long time.
Oh wow, man, small world.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing about the OUP, like going back to that, is when we looked at the first article, the version 0.1, I mean, they imagined it rolling out in phases. I mean, that's kind of at the end of the article. But so even if they put out like an article or some aspect of OUP, it's not going to be, I don't believe it's going to be the whole article or everything that they've talked about is going to come out this year. I think it's going to be a slow rollout. So probably the first thing is OMI to NFT. I think that's going to be the first thing. And then things like raffle and, premium accessories, that's clearly going to come out later, might not even happen this year. So I don't see those things really affecting price till really sometime after 2022, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, definitely. I remember, here we go. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see my screen, but you can see phase 1 was the staking. Phase 2 is using it for drops. We're looking for phase 3. This is the important one. OMI to NFT is going to be phase 3. How quickly can we roll out phase 3? Well, we don't even have phase 1 yet.
I mean, you would probably know better, but I think a long time, man. Because sometimes I wonder. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, yeah, I agree. Probably a long time.
Yeah, even it'd be nice to even have some basic features like a search bar, which I've asked some technical people. It doesn't take a very long time to kind of have an upgraded search bar. But things like that I think is crucial for the app eventually, they're going to focus on a lot of other things. I don't see them getting. I don't know. I would hope that OMI to NFT would be one of the first things that comes out. But knowing the history, it's probably not going to happen, right? What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I said that the biggest catalyst for OMI and VEVE NFTs will be OMI to NFT, because that's where you finally link to two systems together. You have OMI separate, you have VEVE kind of isolated. Linking those two together, I think, is going to be hugely beneficial, because then you now allow all of these whales with their OMI tokens direct access to VEVE. And then you have all these people who have been hoarding VEVE NFTs with no means of cashing out, essentially. Now they can kind of freely trade and liquidate them. And you get this kind of nice marriage between the two. I think that is going to be the most bullish thing. But that is phase 3, apparently. And I don't know how long phase 3 will take.
Do you think people will circumvent MTL by just assuming we get OMI to NFT? You sell some collectibles, you get OMI, and then you put that in your MetaMask or whatever, and then you just swap it to USDT or do you see that happening as a way to get around the 10% fee? Or not like something I would consider doing.
Yeah, definitely. I think the 10% fee, right, is a big chunk. That's not a small amount. So I think a lot of people out there, they will happily swap over to OMI and cash that out because you don't have the 10% fee. And that group of people includes myself. I don't want to pay the 10% fee. I'd rather cash over to OMI. The only thing is I can see people not wanting to do that if they want to stay super anonymous because they don't want the exchange knowing their identity. But I'm fine with that. I am legit. So I don't mind cashing out to save myself the 10%.
Mm-hmm. What's the deal with all the ducks, man? I see you all the time on Twitter talking about your ducks. I own one duck, but what do you see that's so bullish about the ducks?
Okay, so with the ducks, right? Let's see. So maybe it will come up top Disney characters. Let's see. Or maybe it's top Disney character rankings or something. Maybe. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so there's these aggregate rankings, right? So things like Instagram posts, global search volume, how many films they've been featured in, video games, theme park attractions. So, a lot of people sometimes they just look at one aspect, like just how many social media posts about it. But this is an interesting ranking because it ranks multiple different factors. And the total aggregate score, you can see that Donald Duck is actually very, very closely tied with Winnie the Pooh. So I think both Winnie the Pooh and Donald, because they're both on VEVE now, they're both very good picks. Personally, I went with Donald the Duck because Winnie the Pooh, unfortunately, was the more heavily botted out of the two. And I didn't want to buy something that was so heavily botted that every time you buy it, some bots just list a new dump sell wall. Like, we've, even to this day, we're still seeing it happen. So that's what I kind of wanted to avoid, is I wanted to go into a collectible, which is, most of it is held by real people. So Donald Duck made sense. Now, the reason why I went so heavily into Donald the Duck, as opposed to just any other VEVE NFT, is I'm really bullish on Disney Golden Moments, as many people can see. Disney Golden Moments I've always found to kind of bounce back first because of the IP behind it, because of the popularity, etc. And the characters are obviously, very well known. And then the way I saw it is I kind of compared everything a bit to like the Waltz and, comparable IP like Elsa. So Elsa, I kind of like the all-time high, was around about 4K. And then I see Donald sat at around about, $400, $450 or 450 gems. And I'm like, that's like 1/8 to 1/10 the value. So I see, in terms of like where it could go, that range to be very, very good. Like very easily a 3x from where it is as of today. Now, that being said, Donald as a character on his own, if you see here, is ranked second. Now, in some countries like Germany, Donald is actually more popular than Mickey Mouse. So it's like, okay, clearly Donald has good IP behind it, a good branding, Disney, etc. Golden Moments does well. In terms of all-time high to where it is right now, Donald has dropped like 90% or so. Well, not 90, I think he's dropped like 80%. So in terms of the potential upside, is huge for Donald. Now, I could have gone about and made a more speculative play, like with Peely. I could have assumed that, hey, when Asia comes on board, that's going to push up the value of those NFTs, kind of similar to Ultraman in Asia. But I decided to this time make a much safer bet. Disney, everyone knows Disney is not going anywhere. Donald the Duck has had a huge pullback, about 80%. So it's got a good amount of room to grow. I think conservatively, Donald can easily go back to 1K. And that's super conservative once the market recovers. It was sat very, very comfortably at 1.5K. Like there were a good chunk of them being bought at 1.5. So I was like, okay, that's a 3x from where we are right now. I think that's super reasonable. Very minimal risk from what I can see. And so I was like, okay, the way I see it is if Donald tanks any lower, then to me, that signals that the entire VEVE market should be tanking. Because if an IP as big as Disney on your platform is tanking, most likely all of the, random artists and stuff, those are going to be tanking even more. Because, the Disney ones, they tend to hold the best kind of value on the platform. So yeah, that's partly why. So I just kind of went hardcore on the ducks. And I think some of the like other OGs, they've also been stacking ducks as well, alongside some other golden moments. So I know that there's like a good kind of OG community that's kind of holding these ducks as well. So that makes me feel a bit more confident. It's not just like one person that's trying to pump it. It's like, a community of people who see the value in golden moments. And these people are typically in it for the long haul anyway. So I feel more confident that, I'm not going to get my dumped on by ducks or anything.
You don't see like the golden moments being kind of diluted in a way by these recent drops, by even just having ducks. I mean, most likely we're going to see more golden moments.
Yeah, so I got kind of bamboozled by VEVE. They were like, yeah, these are the final golden moments. We won't see any more. And then we see the Donald and Daisy, and Alex was like, we didn't expect any more. And then we see the Disney duos, and I was like, what the hell? There were like 5 more. It's like, we didn't expect this. I think they're gonna release even more. That being said, from the series, yeah, there are gonna be more golden moments. I don't doubt that. However, the fact that this is from VEVE's eyes, considered FA Donald. Based on the rankings, with Donald up here as second, I think regardless of if they release more golden moments, I think just Donald Duck being such a well-known character, I think that in itself, regardless of golden moment or not, that in itself holds a lot of weight. So I'm pretty happy with that on its own. And Mickey Mouse with the Walt, that's, in terms of price, that's like way beyond what Donald Duck is right now. So I think at the very least, it should probably be, at least 1K conservatively. That's what I think would be fair valuation. And then the rest of the market, I think, would need to move upwards as well. Even Winnie, I think, is actually very undervalued. I would value Winnie at close to what Donald is, to be honest. It's just Winnie is a more recent one, and the more recent drops were way more heavily botted than what we saw in January, February time. And so there's a lot more stock being held by bots, which are still being listed on the market even today. So I think Winnie has still a lot more kind of stock to move from the hands of bots into the hands of real people. And so that's probably why the value for that, I think, is going to still take a little bit longer to kind of shift up. But I think Winnie is going to follow Donald quite.
Hello? Okay, got rugged.
Oh, I accidentally clicked back there, Mike. I've got like a back button on my mouse, and sometimes I click that.
Yeah, I agree with you on the Winnie. I think Winnie will do very well, and drops typically they'll kind of go down in value before they skyrocket if history holds true.
Ecomi missed this bull run. That's the other thing is I think a lot of whales want to take profit because they don't want to miss the next bull run. Because anyone who bought OMI the past year, they missed out on a lot of gains elsewhere. Like, Illuvium popped up. Like, there were some really good projects that popped up. And luckily, I did put a bit of money into Illuvium. And I basically 3x to 4x to what I put in. So I bought in at $400 and it went up to it actually went up to like $2,000, I think, at one point for one ILV. But I sold all of my ILV at 1.6K. So I was really happy with that. Yeah, I was happy with that. And then, unfortunately, the money that I cashed out of ILV, I threw back into OMI. But, the price that I bought OMI at, I think I lost like 50% based on where it is right now. I think I bought in around about 0.6 and then it came down to like 0.3. Now it's like 0.25 or something. But yeah, if I just bought ILV, I would be in a better position even right now if I just bought a load of ILV at $400.
Yeah, I think ILV was my best investment for crypto last year. And that's mostly because I did the liquidity pool thing. So I paired my Illuvium with my ETH.
And you stake it.
And then, and you stake it. And actually, it's been a great return. I mean, I think I doubled my money already. And I put a good amount in there since October. So it's more than doubled at this point, and then probably double in the next 3 to 6 months, I'm sure. So I'm happy with that. But, long term, I still think OMI is very undervalued at these prices. And I would love to rotate money more into it. I mean, right now, I don't have any more capital left except my paycheck. So, every 2 weeks I'll put 1,000, 3,000 into the markets there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the thing is I still believe OMI is extremely undervalued right now. Like, I'm stacking as much as I can because even with the whales taking profit, right? Let's say they start taking profit at 0.1, 1 cent. As of today, 1 cent is like a 4x from where we are right now. So buying at right now, you could still make a 4x pretty much at a very, very low risk. I think from an investment perspective, within 12 months, I think reasonably VEVE could drop out the OUP and OMI to NFT in the next 12 months. Getting a 4x within 12 months, I think is very good, like extremely good. So I think there's still it's very low risk, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I was very surprised to see that OMI didn't drop below the 2.5, 2.3 level. it's really strong at the prices we see now. If it was going to drop to like 1.4 or lower, then that would be a little scary. But I think even if we went back to like local highs, like at the 8.0, that's a 3x for me, and I think that's still great. I mean, when you look at the stock market, and you have an 8% rate of return, it takes like 8 or 9 years to double your money, and you're doubling it or tripling it even in less than that, right? So I mean that's a great investment overall, and I think people get a little too greedy. They look for that 10x, that 100x, and it's hard to find those opportunities and then put a lot of money into those opportunities. It's too risky. So it's a great value proposition right now, I think.
Oh, I was on a Twitter Spaces earlier, right? And I was basically giving my feedback on the Taps and Reese interview, and quite a lot of people, surprisingly, empathized with my viewpoint. I thought I was going to get a bit of hate about it. Sorry?
What was your viewpoint?
Okay, I'll share with you, because I think you'd probably have some good feedback for me. So basically, for every interview, especially with Reese, because I quite like Reese's interviews, I always feel like really hyped up and amped. Yeah. But this recent one was the first time ever where I felt kind of deflated. And I think that's probably because we have more transparency when it comes to blockchain data, right? Like we never used to have that. And also we've had like this kind of huge run up of things that you could say are FUD, but reasonable FUD, like not like unreasonable FUD. So there were two things that kind of I would say like kind of slightly irritated me. So the first one, I don't know if you picked it up, right? But there was a community question that went to Reese, and it was, what weaknesses or barriers do you think ECOMI has? Which is a very fair question. It's a very normal question. And the answer kind of annoyed me, which was, there are no barriers, which to me, really, if you've been around in a space a long time, like long enough with OMI, you would know that they do have barriers and they do have weaknesses. And I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting that. I think it's a very good thing if you admit that, because then it shows you as a, well, not you, but, as a representative of this company, you're aware that you're self-aware of your capabilities, and being like knowingly being aware of your weaknesses, that's the first step towards developing a plan to improve. So the fact that if someone goes out and says we have no weakness or barriers, to me, that's a red flag, because it's like, I can see those barriers and weaknesses, but you can't see it. So how are you going to improve if you can't see what you need to improve on? That's the problem. And so what I think would have been a better response is, one of our biggest weaknesses has been failing to meet deadlines. Everyone would agree. Yeah. Why are you failing to meet deadlines? Well, we had a lot of technical debt because we launched so early that we had to do things in a very proprietary way. There wasn't a lot of third-party support for us. We were forced to go on GoChain because there was no suitable blockchain. As a result, we had to spend a lot of time migrating to IMX, which is now available. So projects launching now, which want to do, like a high throughput of transactions, they have the benefit of going straight to IMX. ECOMI didn't have that. So they have a ton of technical debt that they need to kind of catch up with, compensate for. That's their biggest barrier, I would say. And that's what's really holding them up, because they have to constantly divert resources back on re-engineering, fixing up their tech. I would say the IP side, they're very, very solid. They aren't going to lose when it comes to IP. The tech side, they're not very solid on that. I think they need to partner up with a separate, tech provider to manage that side for them. Similar to what Hero's done, they partnered with Colex. Colex does all the tech, and that's why they've had such a successful launch, because Colex is extremely experienced in this area. That's why, to quote Trevor, he got the Hero app and he's like, this app is smooth as fuck. Like, because like they're experienced in that area. And I think that's where VEVE needs to address their weakness. The second thing that really annoyed me was, now Reese himself, like, he's a very self-aware person. So I think he was in a bit of a rock and a hard place where maybe Dan or someone said, by the way, Reese, whatever you say on this interview, don't say anything that could cause FUD. So maybe he was being a bit too optimistic because of that. But it went back to the 2.4 million active users. They pushed that as that is still real. There are 2.4. So now this is where
didn't they say like 2.8? Didn't they say 2.8 million or something?
2.8, yeah, you know, whatever ridiculous number. Now this is the bit where now you're stuck, because whichever way you slice this cake, you have a problem now. Let's say hypothetically 2.8 million people are genuine real people and they exist on the app. Okay, the most recent drops, according to Immutascan, only about 10 to 12,000 people went for them, right? That's why most people could buy multiple comics, because for 30,000 comics, you only have about 10 to 12,000 people competing. If you genuinely believe there are 2.8 million users, right? That means only less than 0.5% of your user base is engaging in these drops. That in itself is a problem. You're saying that over 99% of your user base are not participating in drops. They're just sat there on the app looking at things. That's a problem in itself. So what do you need to do? What's your problem? Is your problem converting 2.8 million people into people who are happily willing to buy drops at retail? Because most people will probably, I imagine, want to buy drops on retail as opposed to the secondary, because most likely getting it on retail is better than buying it on secondary. Or do you admit that we don't have 2.8 million active users? We have closer to maybe, you know, 300 to 400,000 according to Immutascan, which lines up a bit more closer to how many people are following them on Twitter, in their Discord, etc. Because those are genuine, you know, individuals that follow them on Twitter and Discord. And I imagine most people who kind of participate in VEVE stuff, they are at least following the socials. I would say, you know, majority of them. But 2.8 million is a huge way away from, like, you know, 200 to 300, even 400,000. So that's the problem. So those were the two things that really irritated me, is, you know, the 2.8 million active users, whichever way you go about it, there is a problem. And then also that they have no barriers or weaknesses. I disagree with that. And then the rest of it was like, okay, you know, like there's some good stuff in terms of what VEVE can do. Obviously, they kind of steered away from timelines this time. They didn't want to drop any, you know, hard dates. Fair enough. That's fine. But I felt like there was, like, you know, just I felt like I didn't get as much from it as, you know, we usually do. Now it seems like with the more transparency and data, I can see why some people out there would feel very irritated by, you know, what was said. So what would you what would your feedback be?
Yeah, so there's a lot to unpack there, but I think definitely the team has learned that they don't want to say anything that can be construed as FUD, because it's going to bite them in the back. There's going to be a bunch of YouTubers putting out videos or Twitter posts, and then they're going to have to circle back and address that. So I think they want to maintain a tight ship. I mean, we saw that even with Noah kind of leaking stuff that may or may not have been true. They had to circle back and do an AMA. So they want to keep a tight ship and convey really just positive news. That being said, I think a very easy way to answer that is just, you know, just like when you do an interview, you just throw a softball weakness. It's like, oh, communication. That would have been an easy way to just acknowledge things, make us feel good, because we all know communication is an issue that the team is fixing, needs to get better at. But with the 2.8 million and stuff, you know, I mean, Reese did say something like, we know those active users are not bots, because we would have like 4 million, 5 million, you know, if you add the bots in. So he made it sound like they know who the bots are and who isn't. And I think, isn't active users, isn't that a pretty standard metric to utilize when you develop apps and things like that? That's one metric. And there's a difference between someone who buys, you know, a product and then an active user. And I don't know the difference between the two, but clearly it's good to, they're using that number because it's impressive, but that clearly does not mean, no way, shape, or form, there's 2.8 million people trying to buy things or do anything productive, on the app that benefits, VEVE as a whole. So they're throwing that out to impress a bunch of people, I think. But, it's somewhat deceptive. It would be more interesting to know, like, how many of those active users they consider like someone who's going to buy in the next 30 days. I think that would be interesting to know, but that's also something that they're not going to share because that's probably more proprietary, right? So they throw in something that I don't know. What's your take on, like, why do people use that metric? I mean, it must have some sort of use in the tech space, right?
I would say it's more so beneficial from an investment point of view. And this goes back to my point of what VEVE's ultimate plan is. Oh, what's up, the Gale? My hero, my villain, the Gale, back at it again. I love the Gale's intros. I actually I haven't seen one of your funny intros in a long time where you dress up and stuff. And you need to pull those back out.
I need to do that. I don't know. There came a period I just didn't want to do that anymore.
Don't you have a pair of Gale glasses?
Yeah, there's somewhere. I have them right here.
You need to pull those out. Put those on. The Gale's here. He needs to. He just pulled out the Gale glasses. Like, they were ready. They were just literally right there.
Yeah. I don't know why they're right here. I never use them except for YouTube. But.
They were like, you had them ready. You were like, I'm waiting to put them on. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So so basically the metric of active users is quite good from an investment point of view because as a startup, right, the ultimate goal of a startup is to pump your valuation as much as possible so that you can sell a chunk of your equity to someone really rich, right? And I imagine that's VEVE's goal in the short term, is what they want to do. And this also ties back to why they're doing like so many why they're doing so many drops as well, is on their balance sheet, the more drops they do, the more money they'll have to show on their balance sheet. Like, hey, we raised, we were targeted to raise 1 billion in revenue, but we raised 3 billion. So to an investor, if they can show, hey, we did 3 billion in revenue, we have 5 million active users, according to our metrics, all of a sudden, that looks like a very, very attractive investment.
Yeah.
And so rather than them selling, 1% equity for 10 million, they could sell that 1% equity for 50 million. And for VEVE, what can they do with $50 million? They can do a lot. Like, they could hire 100 devs easily, very easily, and, pay off a lot of their debts. They could fund the development of the VEVEverse fairly easily. Like, they could do a lot. So the more that they pump their valuation, the more money they would get for parting with a few percent of equity. And if they do that, that means for us as consumers of their products, that would be very beneficial, because then they no longer have to bombard us with drops just to pay off their debts. They can just sell a bit of equity, raise that capital, start development. And even if we choose to not participate in the drops, that's okay. They've raised the capital for it, and that's good for them. So I can see why they want to sell as much as possible. They want to have all these really high metrics. So in a way, it's beneficial for us if they do inflate numbers if they need to, or not necessarily inflate, but use metrics that are a little bit deceiving.
Yeah.
And if they spend time and effort disproving their own numbers, that's counterproductive for them, because now they've disproved their own numbers. They've shown that their metrics are, inflated. They're actually lower than what they think. From an investor, that now justifies a lower price for equity. So
are they seeking, do you feel like they're seeking to get funding somewhere?
Yes. Yeah. I believe they are. Yeah. I think maybe towards the end of the year, we might see a new partner join in, new kind of advisory investor type of group.
I think they need more people. And I think if that's the way they're going to do it, that's probably the only way at this point. I think that'd be good for all of us, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. But, I like Reese. I think he did a very good job. I'm sure he has a lot of masters that are telling him what to do, whether that's Dan or Alex. I mean, I think it was a good interview. And all in all, I came out of that being very bullish because I thought there might be like 2 games coming out soon. And we know it's 3. We know that the VEVE is still on, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Hero cards next week, I believe, in the UK. I don't know which date for game. I think it's the 20th of April. So from Wednesday onwards, which is the same day I'm going Amsterdam. So I'm going Amsterdam with the Hero team to the Immutable X event. So the Immutable X team is going to be there, Robbie and those guys. And also Trevor. Trevor is also coming down to Amsterdam, which is going to be fun. So I'm going to have a live stream. I'm going to get Trevor on stream. I'm going to open some Hero cards. It's going to be fun. I'm going to do some funny skits with Trevor. So you know how I always bully him over Superman's leg? I'm going to get my Superman NFT and I'm going to zoom into like the detached leg and I'm going to pan out to Trevor. I'm going to be like, this guy is responsible for Superman being paraplegic.
Are you going to designer
deliveries aren't delayed. Deliveries are not delayed. They will be delivering as expected. Hero confirmed that.
How much have you made off the Hero cards?
I've already done over a 7x. I think I've done an 8x already.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty quickly. Hero is it's the first project since VEVE that I felt this positive about. And in many ways, they've done certain things better than VEVE. Obviously, they are small, very, very small comparatively. So they've got a lot of room to grow. But the main things I believe they've done better than VEVE is more on the tech side rather than the IP side. Because VEVE is always going to be kind of like very, very difficult to beat when it comes to IP. But the tech side, like Colex, their partner, has done an extremely good job. Even when it comes to like the bots, I know there are going to be bots in the next digital drop. Colex is taking very active measures in trying to reduce the number of bots as much as possible. One of their best weapons against bots is using their whitelisting. So they are actively whitelisting real human beings. So I think that's a very good approach. For VEVE, it's a bit impractical because to whitelist people for every single VEVE drop, given that VEVE wants to do so many drops on a weekly basis, it just doesn't. I don't see how it works. It's just too difficult. Like there's too much, managing of people.
I think Reese said something like there's like 200, 280 plus licensors that are waiting to release these drops. And even last year we heard there was like 100 plus or something like that. I have yet to see those drops. I mean, I would have expected that actually now, right? I mean, we see so many things teased out like Little Prince and LOL. Why haven't we seen those yet?
Reese actually explained in the TAPS AMA why we didn't. So some of these licensors, they advance really, really early because to actually get the drops developed for them, it can take months. So he used a James Bond drop as an example, right? So with James Bond, we saw the film released like back in October, right? But only very recently did we get like the Aston Martin from James Bond. And that was like, 4 or 5 months later on. So some of these models, they can take a lot longer than anticipated. So that's why they're announcing the license like earlier so that they can, we're aware of it, but then the model comes way after they've announced it, like later than planned. Someone's asking for what the noise is, so I'm going to show you.
What was that noise?
Yeah, let me try and show you what the noise is.
Someone said Darth Vader or someone snoring.
Oh yeah, I'll try and show you. One sec. Okay, so this is what the noise was.
Oh, it was so consistent.
So that's what's causing the noise is So this is known as a button quail.
It's cute.
Yeah, this is a fully grown adult. So basically what it does is it's sticking its head out. Yeah, so basically it makes this crowing sound. It's like, so that's basically how it calls like a female. So you know, like roosters, right? They do that as well. But because this is so much smaller than a rooster, it sounds like a kind of like a snoring sound. Like it even like stands up on its legs and makes like a kind of call as well. Like it goes like in the mornings, like a rooster. But it's like a mini version of a rooster.
Gotcha. Hey, I'm doing an interview with Captain Kirk.
Oh, you're interviewing Kirk.
Founder. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Are you still working with them, doing exciting things?
Oh yeah. I'm still working with Kaleidoscope, just helping them with certain things. One of the things that I'm helping them with is the innovation on the AR and VR side. So basically, one of the things I want to do is I'm quite big on AR and VR. Like I gave a lot of my feedback and suggestions to Ecomi. I don't know how much of my feedback and suggestions they decided to take on board. Seems like they just said, yeah, that's cool, and just didn't decide to implement anything. But I did give my feedback and suggestions to HRO, and that's one of the reasons. That's one of the things that I think they want to discuss in person, because some people might take this as FUD towards VEVE, but doing 3D collectibles is not exclusive to them. And doing 3D collectibles is actually on the roadmap for HRO, which is quite cool. So we could also see 3D Batman statues on HRO, but in slightly different formats. So one of those formats is, this is the demo that I kind of pitched to them. Let me see if I can show you. Let's see. If I go to my profile, it'll be like kind of way down. Yeah, so basically on their roadmap is 3D collectibles, and they kind of want to obviously discuss with their partners, Warner Brothers, on kind of like how to do it, but that will come a bit later down the line. Let's see, this is the 4th of April. It should be further along, I think. Let me see, where did I upload the video? I put out like a demo version. Should be up here, I think. That's Moon Knight. It was before that, I think. Let's see, man, I post way too much on Twitter. Let's see, Superman's leg. Okay, so oh, wait, here we go. Yeah, okay. So let me maximize this.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so basically, there's something called like image tracking with AR. So what you would have is, if you have your 3D card, it recognizes the image and it will place the AR collectible on top. But what I wanted is each AR collectible in itself is considered what's known as a game object, right? And if you have 2 game objects, so I don't know if you played like, you've probably played video games before, like Mario 64 and those kind of games, where if, you know, like let's say Mario, he comes within a certain range of an enemy, the enemy turns around, spots him, and starts walking towards Mario. It's the same thing, same concept. So when one collectible is in a certain range of another one, it triggers an event that could be an animation or dialogue, that kind of thing. And so I wanted VEVE to do something like this, where you have 2 collectibles that can do an animation together. Like, let's say you have, I don't know, like, for argument's sake, let's say Ultraman and Edo. Like, when they come into contact with each other, they have a dialogue, or maybe they fight each other or something, that kind of thing. So basically with this, what I want to do is demonstrate like how the Batman and Joker could be utilized. So if I show you this.
Well, what are you waiting for? Kick the hell out of me and get your standing ovation.
Oh, that's awesome.
Come on.
No, not this time.
So basically that dialogue was triggered when the Batman came in range with the Joker.
No.
Dude, that's awesome. Did you make that yourself?
Yeah. So basically what I did was, obviously because my printer wasn't working, so I couldn't print the cards out, but I basically opened the cards out on the phone because it still detects it, right? Like, so the app detects these images and it will place the collectible on top of these images using image recognition, image tracking. And then these game objects, they're like actual game objects in AR. So when the Batman is in a certain like range with the Joker, it triggers an event which causes them to interact. Now, if I was like Trevor and I was like good at animating and stuff, I could have made them like actually like, you know, like fight or, you know, interact with each other. But, you know, I can't do that. That's not my skill set. So instead, I just gave them like a dialogue from a Batman film, actually. I quite like the exchange they had, so I put it in here. And so, yeah, that's basically how it works. So I'm like, VEVE could implement stuff like that, but they haven't as of yet. I don't think it'll be too tricky for them to do, and it will make things more fun, right? Like, imagine if you know that one of your collectibles can unlock a dialogue or an animation with another collectible. That's going to make people want to go and get the other collectible, which they've done once with the Ghost Trap and Slimer, the one that we announced, which was quite funny, coincidentally. So imagine if there were more collectibles on VEVE that did that kind of stuff, where it would make people want to get the other one for that interaction and animation, I would say. So, yeah, I think they should do more of that kind of stuff, in my opinion.
That's super cool, man.
Oh, thanks. It's Darth Vader. No, it was my bird. If I look at Mutascan, Hero only has 643 unique users. Hero, yeah, they've only got 643 who are actively on IMX. So the number of actual users is higher because they have the Hero app. So like something like 10 times that many are actually using Hero app, whereas only about 643 have moved their Hero NFTs to IMX and are trading on IMX. 27th Hero in the UK. Oh, it's actually been delayed by a week. Is that confirmed? That's kind of annoying. When's the 27th? Oh, that's next week. I thought we were gonna get it on time. I thought it was they confirmed it was gonna be on time. Ready for that scanner to open back up. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the scanner. The bird sounds like Darth Vader. Yeah, it does. I'm buying real birds. Yeah, it does actually look a bit like the Donald Duck. How much is the bird? I don't know if the bird's for sale.
How do you feel about MONI?
Yeah, a lot of people are asking about that. So
it's so dumped so low.
Yeah. So I said, obviously I knew that it was going to retrace quite a bit, but I didn't think this much. Like, this is a lot. And
this is back to the pre-sale price, right?
Yeah, it's actually at pre-sale price, which is insane. So I was like, damn, this is could be a good time to buy, but at the same time, I'm not going to have confidence in buying more until we see at least a sliver of an update on the game. Now, I know they put out like actual like statements of what they've been doing, and it makes sense from a development perspective, like what they're doing. But I want to see at least a little, like at least a short little video clip of
exactly
the stuff, and then I'll be like, okay, fine, you guys have something there. It will come out eventually. So I'm going to give them a few more months, see if they put anything out, because this is supposed to be a mini game, not even the main game. So I imagine it wouldn't take them as long as it has taken so far. So I'm going to give them, some time, a couple of months, June time. I'll see what they put out. The important thing is the founder tokens don't unlock until like end of the year, right? So until then, they can't like, dump on us and rug pull and get out if they wanted to. So that's why I'm like, okay, I don't mind holding my tokens and whatnot. If I did so now, I'd be selling at a big loss. But from now until end of the year, I'm pretty sure they should be able to put something out if they have stuff in development. So I'll give them a couple of months, see what the updates look like.
I just kind of wish they did what Illuvium does is, they'll do the same stuff that MONI does with Discord, put out updates, and that's great. But then You know, it'd be nice to have like a demo, like you were saying, like or like a YouTube channel where you every now and then you put out like a character you developed or like a little bit of gameplay, because then it's like, okay, you know, video can't really lie too much, right? There's something there at least, but you have no idea what they're actually making. And I don't know. I don't get the sense it's a rug pull, but I'm definitely not putting any more money in either. I think it's just too risky.
Yeah, I mean, I've put in a lot already. So has Wannabe Champ. Like he actually doubled his money tokens by using arbitrage.
Oh wow, smart.
Yeah, so basically on one exchange, you couldn't deposit or withdraw money. You could only buy. And so what he did was on the exchange where you could buy and sell, he basically sold all his money tokens for USDT. No, sorry. He sold all his money tokens on the exchange you couldn't buy and sell for USDT. So he sold it for like, 0.5 cents, right? And was it 0.5 cents? No, he sold it for 50 cents. Yeah, 50 cents for money tokens. And then he sold it for USDT. Then he took that USDT, sent it to another exchange, and bought back the money tokens for $0.25.
Smart.
So he doubled. I think it was a Sendex where deposits and withdrawals were suspended, but you could still sell whatever you had on the exchange. Unfortunately, I had pulled my money tokens out into a private wallet, so I couldn't do that. But he left it on an exchange, and so he was able to sell it for $0.5, send it to Gate.io, and buy it back for 0.25, essentially doubling his money tokens.
That's smart. He's a smart man.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I missed that. That was a good opportunity. Yeah, I'm like looking forward to seeing what comes out in the next couple of months with the well, firstly, I'm looking forward to this month for the Q-drop system. So what do you reckon they're going to give us for the Q-drop system?
What drop?
Yeah, because I think they're going to, maybe they might do it with like a insignificant IP or like, one that's not as big.
I don't really know. I don't really even have like a guess there. Do you have a thought?
I was thinking, maybe like something VEVE IP, like something simple, like maybe the VEVE logo, like maybe an NFT version of the VEVE lamp. So you could have this inside your showroom, like just sat there.
I think I saw something on Twitter where someone was talking about, just talking, but it just making VEVE branded IP and just raising money that way. You get the VEVE lamp, you have like a high editions or high mints, and just kind of sell that. That would be interesting because I think a lot of people would actually probably buy it if you introduced that with the Q system.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking, right? I'm sure it will sell some, but I think people will go into the mindset of buying it knowing it's not going to be something they'll be able to flip for profit. Like, no way. Because even huge brands like Coca-Cola, people have been gone into that mindset where, buying the Coca-Cola drop, for example, in the blind box format, most likely you're going to lose money. And people will kind of like convince themselves of that. And we've seen it even with like, Electra, which is Marvel IP, freaking huge. But even that, people were playing rebound roulette on the day, like, buying, canceling. Even I was doing it. I'm like, because I know most likely there's a 90% chance I will lose money. So I just didn't want to buy it. I'd rather buy it on the secondary market. So selling VEVE IP, which most people in the world would probably classify as being below Coca-Cola and below Marvel, if you're going to do high editions of that, I don't think it would sell as well as many might imagine, because there's no resale value to it. And then from there, we're going to see, okay, who are the true collectors and supporters of VEVE that don't mind buying something where they're not going to turn a profit on it. I think it's going to be less than we might imagine.
I don't know. What if they drop something like that, then like as a static or whatever, and then they also say, we're going to add utility to that as time goes on. You can do things like The lights turn on just like a real VV lamp. You know, you can put that in your showroom, or I think the thought of adding utility to that and just having the one-time drop, a lot of mints, and then that's it. I think a lot of people would buy it, almost like the recur pass. You can almost do it like the recur pass. Like we're only going to sell it once, and then that's it. So it creates this sense of urgency. Have a lot of mints, add value to it later. That's enough for people to buy it, take a hit, knowing that they're possibly going to be valuable. But even if it's not, it doesn't have to be that expensive, under $10. You're not paying a licensor or anything. Pretty easy to make, I would imagine. They can still make a lot of money doing that.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. If they add utility to it, I think what could cause it to sell more is if they somehow link the launch of their first VV IP, like a logo, something related to the land sale that they'll have eventually in the VVverse. They can somehow link those two together. I think it will do well, just because I know a lot of people.
That's a good point.
They want to get the VVverse land, and they will do whatever they need to increase their chances of doing that.
Maybe it comes with like an additional raffle, so then you can even increase the price of the VV lamp, and then just say, each one you buy gets like an additional chance to get the land. I don't know. I think that'd be cool. I would definitely buy like VV branded.
If they linked it to the land somehow, I would definitely buy one, regardless of if I turn a profit on it or not, because I would see it as this is essentially a stepping stone to securing some VVverse land, which for the whales of VV, it's like the ultimate prize.
Yeah. Do you think that they're gonna still do what they said and sell VV for OMI only? Because I feel like that leaves a lot of potential money on the table where, if you sell it for or whatever, you USDT or whatever, potentially you can make a lot more money with that versus just burning a bunch of OMI. What do you think? I feel like it'd be too easy for them just to switch that up, and just because they want to make some money out of it.
So what was that first part? Are we talking about the business dev fund?
No. So, back in the day, Dan Carruthers was like, the land sale, it's only going to be in OMI. You can only buy land with OMI. So that's add some utility. They'll take all that OMI and then they will burn it. So it increases the value of their OMI. If they did something like that, they wouldn't necessarily make almost any profit, right? Because they're just taking OMI and just burning it. They might get a small cut or something, but do you think that the greed would set in and they would say, we're not going to do that. We're going to sell it for fiat. So, a parcel of land is, $200. Then they get a bigger cut. They can actually fund themselves pretty well with probably a big land sale if they do it right.
Yeah, I mean, if they did that, I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, a lot of people who are holding OMI right now, they would sell and get out, because that for them is the ultimate betrayal of trust.
Yeah.
It's like the team has said they're not going to apply negative buy pressure to OMI or positive sell pressure. And they've said the point of VVIP so that they don't have to liquidate OMI, because obviously if they did primary market sales with the licensors, they need to pay the licensors somehow without liquidating OMI. So I understand that. But for VVIP, if they decide, hey, we got all this OMI from the sale, let's go sell it on an exchange and get some cash, I can imagine a lot of people dumping.
Yeah.
Even I would probably, realistically, if OMI's at a decent price, I would probably dump everything and get out, because I'm like, I can't, I don't want to deal with this nonsense anymore. I'm done. Bye-bye. Let me go get some Illuvium or something.
Sometimes I feel like it would be easier for me to cope with some of all this FUD if I was just a normal person investing. But because I have a YouTube channel, you have a YouTube channel, we're active in the community, we have to consume content every day to kind of keep up to date. But that makes it harder to actually diamond hand these things, right? Because you're constantly hearing FUD and second guessing. But if you just set it and forget it and just throw it in a wallet somewhere and come back 2 years later, you'd probably be a lot happier, I think, overall.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, right, I think a lot more people liked my content when I was overly optimistic about everything. Back in the days when all we do is speculate about things, you know, we got Pokemon coming, we got Marvel coming, we got Disney coming. You know, David, you and Dan Crovers are gonna like team up with Amazon and all this stuff. Like back then, a lot of people like I think they enjoyed my content a lot more. But nowadays, like my content is heavily more critical and more like down to earth. It's like these are the problems VEVE has that they need to address, and then people just don't like hearing that. Like, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, people don't come to YouTube to hear critical things about the project they're invested in, right? They want the hopium. And so if you can kind of maintain that attitude, you're still going to get good views. I mean, that's actually why I didn't talk about the VEVE app being taken from the Google Play Store, even though privately I was very surprised by that. And I was really watching if that would actually be resolved very quickly, which it did. It resolved relatively quickly, you know, within 48 hours.
Yeah.
But if that was extending out to a week or more, I mean, that's something where I've always felt that as long as VEVE, the app, is doing okay, I don't care about what the OMI price is. But if the VEVE app is not doing okay, that's when I start to get really nervous, right? It's just something different. But
yeah. Oh, hero cards on average, you should beat what you paid in retail. But again, on average, you won't get all bad cards. You should get a few good ones. The thing with the thing that I think that's definitely true is nowadays I think there are a group of people out there who kind of used to hate my content because it was too optimistic, and now they're actually a bit more accepting of it because they see the more critical side, which is what they kind of wanted the whole time. They were like, you know, you're not asking the team any like real questions, you know, you're just like, you know, like what's it called, like what's the term, what's the politically correct term, like basically kissing the team's ass, like
brown nosing.
Yeah, exactly, brown nosing. Yeah. They would always, you know, say that kind of stuff. And so I can see like both sides. Like the reason why I was always like very like kind of lenient when it came to like criticizing the team is because I understood from a tech perspective, like they're new, they had a lot of hurdles to overcome, which they were doing, you know, re-engineering the whole app to make it more scalable, understandable. All of this stuff, I was way more forgiving. And also we didn't have Immutascan data either. So I kind of had to take what the team said. And I didn't really have any reason to doubt them because they were only just recently coming out with like some big IP. Like, you know, they hadn't announced Marvel at the time, but then they came out with it. So that for me instilled more confidence in and trust in them. But, you know, now that we've kind of like gone beyond that and we've got the Mutascan data, etc., now it's like, okay, you know, we need to come back down to Earth. We're not on the moon anymore. Like, here are the problems. What's the plan? Like, and I think people want to hear the plan.
Yeah. I'm going to give them the rest of this year. You know, we have like 8 months left, something like that. They have a couple of things that they promised. It's definitely a lot more realistic. If they don't deliver on that, I don't know what I would feel, but I think I would feel a little bit more concerned, you know. But I don't know. I think things will happen. I don't think they'll make the same communication mistakes that they did last year, like having a rose-colored glasses, you know, view on things. So
yeah, I definitely think that moving forward, what's going to lose them support is if they take too long in doing things, because we've seen what's happened once. When you take too long in doing things, you basically sit there idly whilst the rest of the market follows this bull run. And that's what happened with OMI. OMI just sat there static whilst the rest of the market experienced a really great bull run. And do we want to go through that again and again and again? Like, I don't think many people would want to do that. And so this is kind of like the issue is keeping up that velocity with development. I'm hoping that they get a good amount of stuff done this year so that they can catch the next bull run. That's my hope.
Yeah, I mean, my investment is I still throw a lot of money into OMI because I expect them to moon, right? It's in preparation for the next aspect of the bull run, whether that's I don't think it's going to happen this year. I really don't. But I think 2023 we should see something moving. Definitely not losing money or staying at the same prices we're at now. I mean, that would be it'd be devastating, to be honest. I think, you know, you could have done a lot more with that money.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Allow list, you just have to follow the Discord on Hero and do whichever the competitions are. I don't know if they have any active competitions. Check out the Discord. I will have a check in a bit. Oh, do you have the weapons rack set or the?
Nah.
Oh, okay. I've got both full sets. I didn't realize that they had the airdrops. I was like, yes, both full sets. I have them. So
do you buy
whatever
everything?
it is, I'm getting it. Yeah. So I think the secret rare for tomorrow's drop, you don't get that as part of the blind box, do you? Is that not the airdrop? That's why there's so many editions of it. Have they confirmed?
I thought you get a secret rare.
Yeah. So that secret rare, is that the one being airdropped to us for completing the sets?
I was under the impression it was.
Yeah, because you know the Frank Kozik one where they did the airdrop for that rubber legs labbit. That one had more editions than the white backstab, and that's because they were airdropping it. So I think this one, it must be airdrop because look, the list price says not available. That means you can't buy it. So the reason why this one is higher editions is because it's being airdropped. That's what I believe. I'm pretty sure it's going to be airdrop. Oh, wait, no, it actually says there in the description it's an airdrop. As a thank you to collectors, this edition will be gifted to Gondex failure of control at the time of the snapshot. Oh, so if you are holding failure of control, which is the 2D piece, you get one of these secret rares. Ooh, that's exciting. And then we have this, the Deadbeats. What's that on the shirt? Which character is that? I can't tell. Oh, yo, Dan. Have a look at the shoes. Do you notice what brand that is?
Does that look like Nike to you?
Yeah, FA Nike.
Yeah, it's like fake Nike, though, right?
I don't care. That's FA Nike right there. FA Nike on VEVE. Yo, this one's gonna go to the moon. FA Nike on VEVE.
Yeah, we have to turn it to the side to see.
I'm pretty sure that's Nike. That has to be Nike. That looks like Nike to me.
It has to be, right?
Okay, so you heard it first on this stream. The ultra rare is going to the moon. FA Nike confirmed. That has to be Nike.
I think the logo is going the wrong way too, though, right? It's going backwards. Shouldn't it be the other way?
No, I think that's correct. Because the hook normally points in the direction of the toes, doesn't it? I think that's correct. I think that's correct. Yeah. What about the other ones? So these ones don't have any shoes. He doesn't have any shoes. Okay, Matt's shoes are random. So wait, what's interesting on these? So he's got the Bart Simpson on the common. So okay. His one is that FA cigarette? Okay, I don't know how much value that holds. What's the brand on that T-shirt? Anything relevant there? I mean, FA Machete.
What about those stickers on his jacket?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. I don't know what the stickers are from. Interesting. Okay, this one's cool. The ultra rare. That has to be FA Nike. And then we've got the secret rare with the Bart head. That's pretty cool.
Which one do you like the best?
I quite like the ultra rare. The ultra rare I like the most.
Because of the Nike.
Yeah, FA Nike. Getting that ultra rare with the FA Nike.
I don't know if I'm going to go for the drop.
When is hero cards? So next week, apparently, probably the 20th onwards, because that's when the pre-orders are being dropped by Game. And obviously Zavvi isn't like a public retailer, it's an online retailer, so it makes sense. In Game, if they get it shipped by the 20th, I assume around about that week. That's my guess. Could be later, could be earlier, who knows? Should be next week.
I have to go get my baby. She's waking up from a nap.
Labbits has cigarettes. Oh, okay, no worries. Check the weapons they are carrying. Reminds me of weapon racks. Oh, okay. So they got. Oh, yeah. They have the weapon rack weapons, don't they?
Okay, thanks for having me on, man.
Oh yeah, no worries, Dan. That was a good stream. I think we'll probably end it here as well. Okay. That's been going on for an hour and a half now, so that's pretty good.
All right, take care, bro.
Yeah, cool. Take care. Thank you guys for joining the stream. This is myself, Daniel Lee. Check out his channel, and it's Daniel Lee, isn't it? I think. Yeah. Yep. Daniel Lee. You should be able to find him. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next stream.
Take care, guys.
Cool. See ya.